I'm using synthetic thermic fluid, and we are unable to tell him that, okay, sir, we are unable to give him the answer other than no, okay, we don't have the synthetic thermic fluid. So this topic will clear your doubts about the system, its application, the parameters where the thermic fluid has to be used as synthetic or a mineral thermic fluid, so that when we go into the field, we can have a better understanding of the system rather than just having the understanding of the fluid or the oil what the customer using. Okay, so I would go to next slide. Then this will be the content of my presentation. Okay, so first of all, the first two slides will say whether it's a mere myth or a real value. I would explain some facts, also compare some properties which you can see, and I'll explain them to you also. Then we can go forward with the basics of the thermic fluid. That what is thermic fluid, what is the difference between a normal lubricant and a thermic fluid, why they are specially formulated, right? Then we need to have some understanding on the heating systems also, that at least when we go into the field, we would know, okay, what is the thing that the heat is transferred to, or how the heat is transferred. Okay, then the some more basics, having some classification of the thermic fluid. Say if customers sometimes tell me that I'm using a silicone type of oil, I'm using this type of oil, I'm using that type of oil, so at least we would have an understanding, okay, what is the content and what is the thing that he is using. Then I would touch upon some of the major properties of the thermic fluid. I would explain 4 or 5 major properties which have a significance in the field and also in the application. Then I would tell what is the synthetic thermic fluid, what types of synthetic thermic fluid are there, and then you can I'll give you some examples of different manufacturers with the temperature limit at what they can be used, and you can see, okay, how what is the limit of the temperature where they recommend this oils to be used, specifically synthetic. Okay, I would go to my next slide then, that why it is a mere myth, or what we can say, right? So I would start my presentation with explaining you some facts related to the selection of the thermic fluids. Okay, now here, giving the term thermic fluid means an oil which is used to transfer heat from a lower temperature to a higher temperature. Okay, okay, so the first point what I have written here is the selection of the thermic fluid is normally based on the operating temperature. That is the temperature of the application, whether it is the upper limit of the temperature, that is at the most highest temperature which the oil will come in contact with, or the lowest temperature where oil needs to flow to give a proper circulation. Okay, the other factors which affect the selection is the thermal stability. Of course, it is related to the higher temperature limit and the pressure requirement. And third is the pumpability. Okay, so secondly, we can say that synthetic thermic fluids are used where there is a temperature requirement of the system which is more than 300 degrees centigrade. This I have written in a single straight away point, because one should be clear in its mind that, see, if my the limit of my system which is operating at my customer end is less than 300 degrees centigrade, and somewhere if he is using if he is having a new system installed into his factory, so that what I can pitch to him or what I can suggest him, then further we can do the analysis of that particular system and say, okay, whether we can use mineral based oil or not. So I have written a specific temperature that if the system requirement is less than 300, you can straight away think of mineral based. Okay, now the advantages what we can say or what we can give to the customer related to our mineral oil instead of thermic fluid is that normally synthetic thermic fluids are hazardous. Okay, and working with them is very difficult. I mean, disposing of majorly of this synthetic thermic fluid is since it is hazardous, it is not very easy. It has to be disposed of through a authorized source only. Whereas disposing of a mineral based thermic fluid is very easy, that it can be used as a fuel into the burners. Okay. Now there are some applications. There are some very normal applications, as in India, where we don't have very low temperatures, and not a concern of where very low temperature is not a concern, and if the higher operating temperatures of the system is not more than 300, mineral oils can perform best. Now such applications what we can see can be in the food industry, it can be in the textile industry, it can be in the chemical industry, it can be wood industry such as manufacturing and laminate. Regarding all these applications, I have another slide which will show you the systems where it is used, the application, industry, and bifurcation of in that industry. Some, not all of them, but you will have an idea where some applications are there where minerals can be used easily. Okay, now since I'm talking about synthetic in this slide, I have put down some special applications where synthetics has to be used. These are only some, there may be many, right? So this can be concentrated solar power plants, where these solar power plants are such where the solar energy is concentrated at a single point and very high temperatures are produced. Now, since very high temperatures are produced, it goes up into a range of up to 360, 370 degrees. So a synthetic oils only has to be used. Now, manufacturing of second application is manufacturing of PET, which is polyethylene terephthalate. And it is the material which is used for normally manufacturing of our plastic bottles and this food and beverage packaging materials. Also, synthetic fibers such as glass fibers. Okay, so this needs a very high temperature. Again, the other applications are such as oil refining and offshore, onshore, gas processing distribution, where very cold temperatures are there, less than -50, -60 degrees temperature, where they needs to distribute all this oil and gas from offshore to onshore, and all those distributions. There it needs to be heated, and the environmental conditions are such that oil should be flowable. So in this very critical applications, specifically synthetics are used. There we cannot use a mineral oil. And in next slide, what I would tell you is compare the properties of synthetic and mineral oil so that you can be clear in your mind that how a mineral oil can perform in an application. Okay, so I would go to next slide. Just away. Now you can see this comparison. Okay, now in this comparison, we can clearly see that the advantage of synthetic fluid is only when the bulk operating temperature is more than 280 degrees. So when the operating temperature of the application is higher, synthetics can be used. Now important properties such as flash point, you can see the thermal conductivity. Okay, I have compared it for synthetic as well as mineral. Now these synthetics are of different kinds. I mean, the first one is alkylated aromatic type, the second one is modified terphenate type, third one is the synthetic, which is of HP. It is a synthetic, and I have compared my own, I mean our own Gulf Thumb 32 in this, and you can see the clear advantage with the thermal conductivity, flash point, as well as thermal conductivity, flash point. Okay, now you can see why thermal conductivity is important, because when the thermal conductivity is normally the amount of heat or the capacity of a material to transfer the heat. Okay, now as the temperature increases, the thermal conductivity decreases for a material. Now at higher temperatures also, having a better thermal conductivity will give you the better efficiency. That's why thermal conductivity is very important. Second thing, why flash point is important. Now since these systems run at a very high temperatures, so having a very good flash point is another important property, because it has a safety from the safety point of view. It provides a safety hazard if flash point is low. Okay, now third thing is, now what I can say, when there are higher operating temperatures more than 280 degrees centigrade, here we have written the maximum operating temperature of our oil is 315 degrees centigrade. That is okay, but as much as I know that operating a mineral oil more than 280 degrees centigrade will increase the degradation of the mineral based thermic fluid. Okay, that's why I have given you a temperature of 300 or less than, and the desirable temperature of 280 degrees centigrade. Now when the temperature goes into higher side, we can use the synthetic one. So from this chart, you are rest assured, you are clear that mineral oil also has an advantage over synthetic oil based on the application. Am I clear in my words and am I clear in my thoughts to all of you? Then I would go to,
what is this PMCC?
PMCC is it's a test, flashpoint test. It is Pansky-Martin closed cup test. It's a type of flashpoint test.
There are two type actually flashpoint. This open type
Yes,
and
open cup and closed cup. So this is the closed cup one, because normally the system which are running, these are all in the closed loop. That's why we do it in a closed cup. Okay, so this is the property which is done.
I think I have a different take here.
Yeah.
It's not for the reason that we have a closed system, we do it in PMCC method. Tapas, you have any answers? Vivek?
Tapas, you need to probably unmute. Somebody might be speaking.
Yeah, no, I exactly can't say at this moment why.
Vivek? No problem, Vivek.
Because closed cup will always have lesser flash point, and as a degree of safety, it will be 30 degrees Celsius lesser than the open cup point. So, as a measure of safety, we will find out closed cup.
I think that is the only point there. Generally, if you want to show a higher flash point, you do an open cup, because it's not 30 degrees, more of a 10 to 15 degrees what the difference usually comes, depending on the fluid again.
Right.
If the aromatic content is more, then it will be much narrower. I just have another question. I don't know, it's a little premature to ask a question. Savan.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, to the entire team who is listening to this conversation, we are talking about synthetic versus mineral fluid. I have come across mineral-based heat exchanger systems which are running for more than 10 years also. You know, it's a top up and regular maintenance. Yeah. But what is the kind of a shelf life we have come across when it comes to synthetics? You know, how many years the synthetics run uninterrupted?
As much as I have read through in the synthetics, they run at least 1.5 times of these mineral oils, 15 to 20 years. Well, with proper maintenance.
No, have we come across any single installation which has done that, which has done even 10 years?
Yes, lot many, some in Punjab and Haryana. We have seen Therminol 66 working for 10 years, 15 years in Bhilwara also.
Bhilwara also?
Yes, sir. Normally, expected life is 10 to 15 years, sir.
Thank you.
Savan, this is YP Rao here.
Yes, sir.
You started synthetic is a real or myth, and I don't think so far I found what do you mean by synthetic. You are not defined anywhere, and how many types of synthetic thermic fluids are used, what are the various chemical compositions.
Yes, sir, that I'm going to cover in last few slides. Now, since that was the topic
because you are talking about the properties here, we don't know what is Hytherm-S is based on what kind of composition, Hytherm-HR is based on what kind of composition. All of them you are calling as synthetic. Of course, you are written there alkylated aromatic modified terphenyl, but Hytherm-S you are not written anything.
Sir, Hytherm-S, that actually in PDS itself they have not written anything. They have just given it as a synthetic base oil. But rest all, if you see Dotherm or you see Paratherm or Therminol, they've all given the compositions how they are composed. Now I put Hytherm-S since it is HP fluid and it can be easily seen in the market. That's why I had put Hytherm. And I actually have not come across the chemical composition of this Hytherm-S. That's why I had not put this. But what are the types of synthetic chemical composition has the synthetic thermic fluid? I will be explaining in the last few slides.
And the second thing is that the kinematic viscosity, one fluid you are given at 50, is always better to normalize it to one particular temperature.
Right, sir.
And so same is the case with the density. It's easy to convert those things.
Right, I myself agree with that. I would do it in next one.
It looks like it's always a good idea to see at the safety data sheet. The safety data sheet also gives you some idea about what kind of a composition it is. If you're not getting in the PDS,
Okay.
yeah, it looks like to me that the way it appears to be that Hytham, yes, it looks like to me probably it's based on the group 3 base oil.
Okay. Okay, sir. I would go to SDS and we'll change it and I'll calculate it.
Yeah.
And Savan, any like specific heat also plays a part in this forming this?
Yes, specific heat also does plays a part in this one.
Will it be covered?
Yeah, I will cover when I'll cover the properties. I'll cover that.
I think specific heat is extremely critical, Savan. You could have given it in the main table itself.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, proceed.
Okay. So I would proceed with my presentation, and in next few slides I would be explaining
And
thermic.
another important point is people also define that also specify initial boiling point.
Okay.
Because all these fluids will have a boiling range, except unless it's a
Yes.
pure chemical. Maybe I don't see anything in this case is a pure chemical. All of them have a boiling range. Wherever there's a boiling range, people report the initial boiling point.
Right.
You know what is the boiling point of initial boiling point of our fluid?
Sir, it is there in the data sheet with me. I don't remember it right now, but it is there in the data sheet with me of our fluid. Each and every thermal property of our fluid is with me, and even this all this what I have listed.
And initial boiling point is depends upon what? Is higher the better or lower the better?
The initial boiling point will be higher the better.
So how one controls that?
Sorry, that I didn't read that much.
No, you don't need to read it. Just
The
think
pressure
about it.
the pressure of the system or the vapor pressure inside the system, where if it can be controlled, then the initial boiling point can be controlled if it is related to the system.
No. Pressure has nothing to do. Pressure has nothing to do with initial boiling point. Initial boiling point is the basic property of the base oil or whatever you selected.
So it depends upon the molecular weight and carbon chain.
Yes, everything has got a molecular weight and carbon chain, but how do you control the IBP?
Depends upon the base oil purity and
purity
particular cut of the base oil.
Purity has nothing to do, Tapas.
Purity in the sense the cut, basically the base oil cut. What
The narrower the cut.
Yes, that's right. The narrower the cut for a given viscosity, narrower the cut, the better, the higher your IBP would be. And the same is the case. The moment better the IBP means better the higher the flash point would be, and the safer the oil, you can use it to higher temperatures.
Okay.
And Savan, the most of the competition the market is with Therminol 55. Are we taking that into consideration?
Yes. I mean, I've done it with Therminol 66. We can do it with Therminol 55 also. Now, inside to 4 different types of. Yeah. Hello.
No. Who is that? The thing asked Therminol 55. Sorry.
SP Singh, sir.
Sorry.
SP Singh.
Yeah, SP Singh, sir.
SP Singh.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I'm not able to locate. Yeah. So sorry, case.
I look after North region, sir, for B2B.
Okay. SP. Sorry. You guys, the faces are not seen. It's difficult to this thing. I can't remember all the names. Yes. What is the percentage of Therminol 55, Therminol 66 in India out of the total thermic fluids that are used, SP?
Sorry, sir. I did not receive exactly.
Out of the total demand of this thermic fluid, what is the proportion of Therminol 55 or Therminol 66?
Therminol 55 has almost 90% of the share of the out of Therminol 55 and 66. 90% we come across is 55 and 10% is 66.
I didn't ask about that question. I asked about total thermic fluid. Out of total thermic fluid, what is the proportion of both the 55 and 66 combined?
Market must be like more than 3000 KL, 2000, 3000 KL.
So still doesn't answer my query here. I asked what is the percentage? Either you should take, huh?
20%, 30%. What is the percentage of synthetics when it comes to heat transfer? That is the question, SP.
Yeah, hardly 10%, sir. Total.
Yeah. Let the whole audience understand that. Okay.
But if we
This will be-
consider terminal 55 also as synthetic, what they call as synthetic terminal 55, then they are almost 40-50%.
I am asking out of the total thermic fluid, the synthetic thermic fluid are less than 10%. Okay.
So if you take terminal 55 also as synthetic, then it is higher.
Higher means how much? Higher means how much? That's what I was told by B2B team earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can check it up. It would be interesting if somebody can circulate that. What is the total thermic fluid consumption in India, and out of that, how much is the mineral based and how much is the synthetic?
Suppose you have in one of your data, no, on that.
I think
Yes,
Yogesh
sir.
should
I
be able
may
to
have
answer.
some data. I have to find out. But what it is, see, pure synthetic should be must be around 10% or maybe little less than 10%. But there is another system is another type of thermic fluids also popular in the market, which are not exactly pure chemical synthetic fluid, but they are also considered as a purified hydrocarbon kind of base oil. So this may be group 3 base products, which are if we include that, the ratio it can go up to 20 to 25%.
Suppose major is that aromatic benzene type compound. No? So
Yeah,
terminal
those
55.
are those including those, it will be around 25% of the overall thermic fluid.
So if you look at the data that I have, I am Srijit. The data that we have and the analysis that we had done in the past, and it was done working very closely with Thermax. So the total consumption of thermic fluid in India should be around 10,000 KL per annum. Okay. Out of that, if you look at the real synthetics, which is Terminol 66 or Doutham A, okay, these are the two grades which are operating at 340 degrees plus. So the number of heaters that are launched in India, that itself is around less than 10% of the consumption. And majorly these kind of heaters are manufactured by Isotex, which is a major heater manufacturer for high temperature. Even if you look at the Thermax range, the entire Thermax range, the total number of heaters that Thermax manufactures, which is more than 340, is very less. So these are mostly dominated by non-Thermax, but yes, there are heaters that are coming which contributes to less than 10% in terms of number of heaters that comes in the market for high temperatures. But these are high. The hold-up volume of these kind of heaters, where the temperature range is 340, is very high. It goes into typical applications, high temperature chemicals and all, and the holdups are very high for these kind of volumes.
Okay, thank you, Srijit. It is extremely important to understand the composition, understand where is our focus. That is extremely important. Otherwise, we'll be all over the place, and ultimately, where we have to focus, we'll not be focusing, and we'll be searching.
So the real synthetics plays a role in 10%. So if I talk about 10,000 KL, it may be plus minus 10%, 9,000 to 11,000 KL ke beech mein that number can vary. But if you look at the real synthetics, that is only 1,000 KL or 1,500 KL max. We still have a market of 9,500 KL, 9,000 KL, which can be catered by our oil. I am not considering Terminol 55 into that real synthetics. It's not a real synthetics.
See, Srijit, Terminol 55 is that's what I'm telling. Another category of oils are also popular, which are benzene alkyl derivatives. So
yeah,
these
it's a
are
mixture of synthetic hydrocarbons. They market it by saying there is a mixture of synthetic hydrocarbons.
Yeah, these are synthesized probably somewhere, so that's why they call it synthetic. But these are not actual chemical synthetic products. That market is around another maybe 2,000 KL maximum.
No, it's much more than that. If you look at, there are few brands. It's not only Terminol 55.
No,
It's
lot of
High-Tech,
other.